Okay. I'm Minjin He from UWM, architecture student. We are I'm in the BLC program, working on the historical tower neighborhood project. So this project is about historic preservation, and I think we can start it from your background. Can you introduce yourself at first?
Oh, okay. I'm Lisa Sadagopan, and I'm a resident of the North Point neighborhood.
And address?
Oh, 2251 North Lake Drive.
Okay. Are you from this area or moved to here?
I grew up in Wauwatosa, and I moved to Washington, D.C. for a year and came back, and my husband and I moved to this neighborhood in Milwaukee.
So how long have you lived in here?
We've been here 5.5 years now.
5.5. Okay. Do you have any first impression of this house?
Our first impressions.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what we thought about the outside of the house, but when we first moved in, it was the whole first floor was pink, and so we thought that was ridiculous. We thought we thought that was
okay,
but we loved it, and when we first came in, we saw that there was this big living room, and I have a big family. I have a lot of siblings, so I thought, oh my gosh, the whole family could come here. And then we came into the kitchen, which, this isn't an original kitchen, but it's been it was like a butler's pantry and another kitchen combined, and so it made it into this nice big room where, and I thought the same thing. They had this big table in it, and here and I thought, oh my gosh, my whole family could fit in here too. This would be a great house for everybody to gather for, holidays and things like that. And that's what we really liked about it. And that's
okay. So you changed your kitchen? You changed your kitchen or not?
No, we didn't do it. The previous owners did.
Okay.
Yeah.
So do you change anywhere in the house?
We didn't do anything structurally. Yeah.
Okay.
No. The only thing, we've only done repairs. Like outside, there were.
Repaint the wall.
Outside, it was like the soffits and the gutters needed to be redone, and just a lot of the wood. There was a lot of wood repair that needed to be done outside. There's a lot of rotted wood, and we replaced the deck on the porch, the front porch, and yeah. Do you want me to keep going? I could keep going.
Okay.
There's a lot of stuff
That's fine.
Okay.
And I saw there are many flowers in front of your house. Is that all you planted?
We didn't. Did we do all those plantings? Or no, the house came with those. There were many, many more peonies than are out there. They lined the whole front of the house, the whole front walkway. But they were really, and there were a lot of rose bushes too that the previous owner had put in, and they were beautiful. But everything was planted very close together and really overgrown. So. I took out a lot of the rose bushes. I think I probably took out 30 rose bushes. And the peonies we removed and thinned them out and put some in different places and gave a lot of them away. We tried to keep as much as we could out there. And there was a tree too on the side of the house that we got rid of because it was the roots were blocking the water draining, and it was all draining into our basement, so we had to get rid of that too. Okay. Okay.
Do you know some history of your house? Are you the second owner?
No, I don't know how many. I'm not sure how many owners there have been, but I know from the I can't remember what the name of the author is, but there's the book that's about
This area.
yeah. I know from that this was the Andrew Joy's house from and Andrew Joyce was I think he was a sailmaker, and he's the one who had this house built, and he now owns he ended up starting the sporting goods store Lackey and Joyce, which is sorry, I hope that doesn't bother you. Okay. And I actually I'm sorry, and but then after that all I know is the owner before us was the used to be the conductor of the Milwaukee Symphony Orchestra, and okay, and but my next door neighbor told us, that man's name was Andreas Delfs, but my next door neighbor did tell us that he said there have probably been 30 people living in this house in the last 40 years, and that I heard that at one point a company was using this for offices. I think it was like an HVAC company, and that I think. Oh, sorry. Yeah, it's okay. So the history I know from the book. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So I know from the book about this neighborhood that this is the Andrew Joyce house, and that he's the one who had our home built. And I know the name because of the company Lackey and Joyce, which is a sporting goods company in Milwaukee. And I know Lackey and Joyce because as my family, growing up, my family bought tents there, camping tents and things like that. And so I recognized that when I looked it up. Other than that, I know that in the 50s sometime this was used. There's another unit in the house, or this house wasn't just a single family unit, that it was split into at least 2 units because there was a kitchen on our second floor, and as far as I can tell, there is very little. I couldn't tell there was any kitchen there at all. And in the years since then, unit's been rented. The third floor has been renovated into a rental unit. We've never used it as a rental unit. The previous owners didn't use it as a rental unit. The immediately previous owners to us. And I know a lot of, I think this was used potentially as a rooming house at one point, because I have pictures from my next door neighbor of there being 6 cars parked in the backyard, and he said that was a pretty regular occurrence, that many people actually lived here. So I think the rooms were being rented out in that way. And I was also told that some kind of contracting business had offices here at some point. So.
And so, when you first moved to this area, do you want to choose this part to be your home?
Why did we choose this area? Well, we had rented the 3rd floor of a house in the 2600 block of North Lake, and we just really liked the neighborhood. We thought it was beautiful. We loved the historic homes. We loved that it was close to the lake, but it was still close to a lot of bars and restaurants and things like that. And I lived in other parts of the neighborhood, or other parts of the city, in other neighborhoods where I rented like a flat in a house, and it had beautiful woodwork and just details that you wouldn't see in a newer apartment. And I just really preferred to live in that sort of home. And I thought it was such a shame that people would build these boring new houses that just had no character to them. And we had all these great houses that were already out there. And I lived in the River West, and I would drive down Holton to go downtown to work, and I would see these same homes. Some of them are really beautiful, but they've been neglected, or they just hadn't been kept up in a historically accurate way. Or I remember seeing one house I thought was beautiful. It was huge, and it eventually was demolished. And that was always sort of, that was always what I preferred, but I never thought I would end up living in a historic house.
Did you take some common facilities into consideration? Like this area is near to the hospital, St. Mary, Columbia.
St. Mary's, yeah.
Or here is like have some schools like universities, or this part has some other kind of common facilities.
No, we didn't think about Columbia St. Mary's or the schools or anything like that. I'm trying to think. I mean, we did really like that it was close to the lake.
Actually, in China, we always think about this.
Huh?
Yeah, in China, we always think about the common facilities.
Oh, okay.
Does there near the hospital, the school, is that convenient to go to work?
Yeah. Yeah, we did think about, I did want to be someplace that was relatively close to like a freeway or something like that. But, and, we thought we thought about schools, and we know that, Milwaukee Public Schools, they're not great necessarily. There are some of them that are good, and I don't think we really thought that far ahead. We just it was more important to us to live in the city around where there's diversity, and that we would figure out anything like schools later.
Okay.
And then we came to know that there are, there is a really good there's a good grade school very close to us. And
do you have any interesting or memorable stories in this house?
Oh gosh. Any story? It can be any story.
Sure.
Well, when we first moved in, we were this is our first house, and it's pretty big for a first house, and it's because it's not even that's important. I think it's more that it's old, and to have this as a first house it's got a lot to consider, like a lot of old things that can go wrong. And we had all this rotted woodwork on the outside, and we didn't realize that there were squirrels and raccoons living directly under our roof. And so we would hear the squirrels scurrying around at night, and we got somebody to come and trap them and take them away, and then they put this piece of metal over it, and the squirrels would climb back up and pull the metal off and crawl back in, and we'd hear the scurrying again. And somehow, finally, someone got rid of them. But then the raccoons moved in, and they used to climb up the downspouts. What?
Is that a kind of bird?
A raccoon? No, it's like a four-legged furry thing. It's like this big and has like a big tail that's striped, and it kind of looks like it's got a mask on, and it only comes out in the in the evenings and at night. And and they're pretty. They're pretty big, and and they got to where they would go up and down the downspouts so much that one morning we came out and one of the downspouts was completely fallen off of our house. And I don't know, that's not much of a story, but we had just had an experience. We also had just mice and bees and ants, and we had a lot of things living in our house aside from us the first year we were here.
Okay.
And that was hard.
Okay.
But, I mean, other than that,
And do you know the history about this area, the East?
well, not a lot, no. I mean, I know it was really, originally it was like Columbia St. Mary's was like an infirmary or something like that, and that this wasn't really considered a good part of town to live in, and slowly people started building homes. No, I don't know that much about it, I guess. I know I've taken like historic tours and things like that, and let's see if I can feed her again, sorry. Oops. Thank you. You're welcome. Okay. She be quiet down now.
Have you know all the neighbors in around this area?
I know my immediate neighbors, but they're mostly just acquaintances to me.
Mm-hmm.
The people I'm slowly, like through Historic Water Tower neighborhood, this historic organization, I've gotten to know more people.
Mm-hmm.
So I know, people surrounding, and it took, it's taken the 5 years we've been here, but I at least know names of many people who live here, and I'm at least acquainted with them.
Okay. Yesterday we interviewed Andy Nunamaker.
Oh yeah.
He told us that everyone in this area can get well with each other, know each other, could be friends. I think that's really good.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I know. Like Andy has a lot of. He's very welcoming, and and he's friendly, and like he's having a party next week for some new people that moved into the neighborhood and things like that. That's a very friendly thing to do, and everybody's been friendly. We aren't. I don't socialize at other people's houses necessarily or anything like that, but like I said, I'm at least acquainted with everyone.
Does anyone change in recent 5 years in this part?
What do you mean?
Anywhere change in this area in recent 5 years?
Has what changed?
Yeah, something or anywhere.
Has anything changed? Oh, honey. What? It's okay. Well, right when we moved in, the things that were going on, like on North Avenue, Whole Foods opened up, and the hospital, Columbia St. Mary's, was just, their addition was in the works, and they were just finishing that up. So right when we moved in, those things were happening. And there hasn't been anything big right here. Like I know in other parts there were things that they were trying to develop, like the parking garage on Downer and things like that, but I don't feel that immediately right here a lot has changed.
I think it's hard to change from in here.
Yeah.
Yeah, because in China, I don't know, in China always have.
There you go. Who is that? See? There you go.
Hello.
Here.
Do you want to say hi?
Yeah. Yeah, see? There. Yeah, just look at what's going on. Yeah, there you go. Mwah. Actually, you asked me before about being friendly with people or something like that. Is that what you said? Or if I know my neighbors? I will say that having, now that I have a couple kids that I've lived here, that I've gotten to know, it seems like I'm a lot more aware of the families that are around here, and that, yeah, you may not always see the kids playing outside, but I've just gotten to know that there are more families with kids, and when we do see each other, we stop and talk, and that's just a really easy way to get to know people.
I think we can stop.
Oh,